so far. Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody. I hope you're all doing well and you had good Ekadashi yesterday. So we have been reading about Krishna concept of infinity, and I am slowing down a lot here. So if you have any questions, please ask. Please ask if you have any questions regarding what we discussed, whether the universe is made by God or it has come up by evolution. Okay. After this, I would suggest you read chapter 3 and 4 on your own. Let me see what is there in 4. This one is, okay, the nature of spirit soul. Yeah, you read these on your own. I will start chapter 5 today, matter and consciousness. Is that alright? If we read chapter 5 now, and 3 and 4 you read on your own. Means you read it and then give the exam in Learn Gita, Live Gita, and then if you have questions you can ask. But we will, in our regular group, we will read lesson 5. Okay. Why I am doing this, the reason is there is a need to understand things in a very grounded way, in the sense that we may read Bhagavad Gita and we may read about soul, we may read about Krishna, but we may not develop firmly grounded understanding in what we see around us, right? That is why Arjuna also asks Krishna, how can I see you? Krishna is saying, I am everywhere, I am the source of everything. In the 10th chapter, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabho, I am the source of everything. So Arjuna asks, okay, but how do I perceive you? How do I perceive you around me? Because we live in this world, and unless we see Krishna, unless we perceive Krishna really around us, how can we be fixed in our understanding of Krishna, right? That is why I am starting from lesson 5. This describes how we exist. First of all, before asking whether God exists or not, we should ask, first of all, what is the meaning of existence, and do we exist? So, as per Darwin or the evolutionist view, which we discussed, so even proving our existence is a challenge, right? Because you remember that in that state space, where are we? So if you say life is just a very small portion of the state space, and but they are not able to see, the evolutionists are not able to recognize that why are we confined here and not everywhere else. They just assume this is, everything else is also same. So they have no idea where are we. They have no idea that we exist. So okay, let's start with lesson 5, and I hope you have many questions, and you will ask these questions here. Namom Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Desikarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, lesson 5, matter and consciousness. Introduction. In the first part of the lesson, we learned, in the previous lesson, I'm sorry, I'm editing it, because in the previous lesson we learned how we, the atomic souls, are parts and parcels of Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. We learned that the presence of soul is the difference between a living entity and dead matter. Lord Krishna taught Arjuna that the soul is eternal and it transmigrates from one body to another. The Lord also describes the eternal qualities of the atomic soul. In this part of the lesson, in this lesson, the distinction between matter and consciousness as taught by Lord Krishna will be further deliberated upon. Okay. So, in the previous chapter, it was Shastra Pramana. Bhagavad Gita says we are eternal, so that's what was discussed. Also, some empirical understanding was also discussed, if I remember correctly. I don't remember exactly, but this one will be more empirical. Let's see. Okay, so first, who am I? Okay, now I will give a reading assignment. You this is too big. Okay, let me read because it's a little big. In this world, we are all inquisitive about the ontology of everything. What is everything made up of? So ontology means, in reality, what is everything made up of? Ontology means the real position. For example, ontologically, water is something. So what is the real ontology of water? What is actually water? So it's it's a term popularly seen in philosophy. Ontology means the real position. So what is everything made up of? Within science, we believe that an object consists of atoms and molecules. The structure of the object depends on the type of molecular bonding which results in structures such as solids, liquids and gases. Can we extend such ideas while contemplating on our own self? Okay. So, yes. This is a very, very, very important point here, very, very popular notion. Okay, if I show you a table, what is this table made up of? What will you say? This table is made up of dash. Fill in the blanks. There's a table, let's say, I won't tell, okay, some table. Let's say there's a table in front of you. What is this table made up of? Yeah, any genuine person will say wood. Okay, maybe a scientist may also say atoms and molecules. More specifically, which atoms and which molecules? Others can also give answers, like don't stop. If Dheeraj says wood, you can also say wood if you want, or you can say something else. Material, what is that material? It is made up of material. What is that material? Like if somebody asks you, what is this table made up of? You will not say material. What will you reply to that person? That's experience. Okay. Okay. That's generally what people reply. If somebody comes to you, your friend comes to you, or somebody asks, what is this table made up of? Yeah, you will say plastic or wood or something else. Glass. I think I should. I have to incite you to give more natural answers, and that will happen only when I will ask you something which is very much related to what you actually work on. Okay, let us say you did some cooking. You cooked something. I don't know how many of you have done cooking actually. But let's say your mother cooked something, and you ask your mother, what is this made of? Like you ate it for some dish she prepared for the first time. You ate it and you liked it so much. You ask, what is it made up of? This is some sweet she made for you, and you will immediately ask, what is this made up of? What will she reply? What will she reply? Yeah, milk and sugar, ingredients. Yeah, if you can spell out some ingredients like milk, sugar, butter, ghee, or wheat, rice, right? That is what your mother will reply. She will not say chemicals and molecules. And maybe our Archit will say taste experience, but I doubt if my mother will say that. So what she will say, yeah. And if you ask your mother, okay, what is milk made up of? What is sugar made up of? What will she reply? A very natural lady. Means she is not sophisticated. She does not remember her science courses which she studied when she was a child. She don't know. What is milk made up of? What is sugar made up of? Yeah. She will reply, sugar is made up of sugarcane. Yes, good answer. And what is milk made up of? Yeah, she will say milk comes from cow. Very good answer. I think Akshat is very naturally giving answers. This is what actually my mother will say. I can expect that from her. Yeah. And if you ask further, what is sugarcane made up of? What is sugarcane made up of? I don't think I will ever ask this question to my mother, but let's say if I ask, what will she reply? What is sugarcane made up of? Yes. What is sugarcane made up of? Sugarcane is made up of sugar. Sugar is made up of sugarcane. Sugarcane is made up of sugar. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, means I don't think she will be able to reply anything either. So my mother also will not be able to reply. Yes, because in her semantic understanding, sugarcane or sugar is a basic ingredient which is combined to form different things. She would say a seed is sown and from it we get from it gets produced. Yeah, yes, maybe you are right. Maybe that's what she will reply. Although I have not seen sugarcane, how sugarcane is grown. Although Punjab is known for sugarcane, but I don't know. You can see how ignorant I am. Maybe Dheeraj knows how sugarcane is grown. Is it from seeds or is it from plants? I don't know. Means I know I've seen the plants, but how are they grown? Do they put some seeds in the soil, or is it they do some transplantation? I don't know how they do it. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, she will try to break down everything in terms of semantic ingredients which she knows of. For example, an item, let's say a sweet, she will say it is made up of milk, sugar, ghee, butter, etc., which are all basic semantic ingredients which she knows of, and she does not need to analyze any further, right? She does not need to analyze it any further. She will just stop there. She will say yes, milk. She won't ask the question that what is milk made up of. She will never ask this. She may say milk comes from cow, but what is milk made up of? She will never ask this question, because for her it is sufficient to, in her semantic space, it is sufficient to know, oh, okay, this is milk, this is what it tastes like, and this is how it behaves with other objects. Let's say if I heat it, it will get boiled. If I overheat it, it may get burnt. And if I if I add it to this sweet in this way, at this time, in this proportion, then this is what the result will be produced. So she knows all these semantic relationships, but her basic ingredients are milk, sugar, and things like that, right? She does not need to analyze any further. On the other hand, consider another person. Let's say a farmer. A farmer, when you ask him what is this sugarcane made up of, he will tell you exactly, no, this is the relationship, that this is the seed from where sugarcane comes, and we plant it, we take care of it in this way, we feed it like this, and then this sugarcane comes out, we cut it like this. So he will explain everything. For him, the semantic atoms are very different, right? The semantic atoms which things are made up of are very different, but they are meaningful for him. He won't do further analysis to see what is the seed made up of. Yes, he knows, okay, seed comes from the plant, but what is it made up of? He will not say, and he will not even care about it, because for him, seed as an basic ingredient is sufficient, and he need not analyze any further, right? But then when we go to modern scientists, if you ask them what is this sweet made up of, they will not say sugar, milk and all, because those are not the basic ingredients which they work with. They work with some different ingredients. What are those ingredients for chemists or for scientists? I won't say scientists, because scientists are also of different kinds. So I will say, let us say somebody who does chemistry. For a chemist, what are the basic ingredients? What are the basic ingredients for a chemist? Calcium, vitamins. Okay, calcium, yes. Vitamins. I don't think any chemistry person will ever say vitamins. Yeah, chemicals he will say, yes. Yeah, he will say atoms like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, carbohydrates. He will say chemicals like sugar has a structure like C6, H12O6, something like this, right? I don't remember. C6H12O6, something like that. So sugar has a structure, that is the basic molecule for sugar. So he has different ingredients or different semantic atoms to explain the phenomena. Phenomena is what is the observation. So he will explain it in terms of different ingredients. Does everybody agree with this? Everybody agrees here? Okay. Now I will ask a difficult question. Now a chemistry person gone. Now comes a physics person. What are the basic ingredients for a physics person? The basic ingredients for a physics person. If you ask a physics person, what is this sweet made up of? What will he reply? He or she. A physicist. What will he or she reply? In terms of laws, okay. Okay, good answer, yes, in terms of laws. Forces between different layers, yes. 4 basic laws. Or no meeting, no intoxication. What are those 4 basic laws? Carbohydrates. A physics person will never say carbohydrates. Never. He will never say carbohydrates. Think about it, Chiranjit. What a physics person will say. What are the 4 basic laws? Viscous fluid. Yes. Yeah. Your answers are correct. For a physics person, the basic ingredients are very different. As somebody said, the 4 basic forces. I think it should be the 4 basic forces, not the 4 basic laws, right, Abhishek? 4 basic forces are electromagnetic force, strong force, weak force, gravitational force. I memorized this in my school days, and I don't know what they are actually. Okay. So the point is that the ingredients or the basic semantic elements for a physicist are very different. They are very different. So he will explain the world in terms of his or her ingredients, which are, okay, electromagnetic radiations, and many will say electrons, protons, neutrons, and particle physicists will have some different ingredients. They will say no, there are muons, bosons, pions, quarks, gluons, all those stuff. And for another physicist, particle physicist, he may say no, they are quantum fields, right? The fields. So they have very different ingredients, very different semantic elements which they build. And now there is no end to it. You can take anything as semantic element, as your basic ingredient, and then construct things out of it. You can take any basic ingredient and construct things out of it, right? Let us say the same sweet is made up of, physicist will not say carbon, he will say there are groups of protons which are linked in this way, and then electrons which are bonded in this way, and then this is the electromagnetic, or I think electromagnetic force which is binding them together, and then this is they will have their further explanations. So now, where is the foolishness? Where is the foolishness? Question. Where is the foolishness? Foolishness is here. One physicist says, very famous statement, one physicist has said, only physics is the real science, everything else is bookkeeping. Only physics is the real science, everything else is just bookkeeping. Means chemistry is just bookkeeping, biology is bookkeeping, mathematics, maybe mathematics is bookkeeping. Only physics is the real science. Okay, so now I'm asking, where is the foolishness? Where lies the foolishness? I think everybody is giving very good answers. So Abhishek Bansal is saying he's a fool because he's thinking his understanding is best and everybody else is not good. Kunal says they are not thinking from neutral position and they are defining their own definition, which is also very correct. They are not neutral and they are defining their own terms that okay, this is real science because we define it like this. Chiranjit goes one step ahead and says science of life is the real science, which is very nice, very well thought point. Archit says to consider their version to be true, which means they are a bit arrogant. This person is a bit arrogant in this regard. Yes, that is true. Physics don't include it. What does that mean? Phi don't include it. Okay. Chiranjit is saying science of life is real science and physics doesn't include it. Yes. Same thing, but different people explain it in different ways. Yeah, that is very nice point. Same thing is analyzed or explained by different people in different ways based on what are their semantic items or what are their basic ingredients. Very well thought. Yes. Not thinking of one more higher cause. Not thinking of one more higher cause. Maybe you are referring to spirit or probably one more higher cause. You are referring to maybe spirit or Krishna. I don't know. Okay. So this is the point that everybody has their own basic building units and they construct they explain the phenomena in terms of their basic building units. So saying that my basic building blocks are better than yours is not good. And also another thing which we see is at every level different relationships manifest. For example, the same protons and neutrons, when they are just studied by physicists, they exert some force and they basically they are in one particular type of configuration. They have some kind of relationships amongst each other, like protons and neutrons and other electrons. But if you go to, let's say, a plant, or in a plant, or analyze the cell, so many things are happening which cannot be explained in terms of protons and neutrons, because protons and neutrons, they are so simplistic, they cannot hold that much information. Means they cannot they means, why are they behaving in a particular way? Where is that structure coming from? That is not there in protons and neutrons. That is why it is wrong to think that protons and neutrons are the building blocks and everything else is not the building block. Means semantically, so our semantic space is built with semantic atoms, semantic building blocks. I think this is a difficult point, but this is the point which I want to make, that okay. Now let me try to come to the point which I wanted to emphasize, for which I have to tell everything, the background. This is the point. Within science, we believe that an object consists of atoms and molecules. So this is not correct, because this is just the understanding of maybe chemists, right? Not even physicists. Just chemists believe that, like that, atoms and molecules. Others won't believe like that. Others won't consider atoms and molecules to be their basic building units. For example, for biologists, genes or proteins or DNAs, RNAs, those may be the basic building units. I don't know, Chatu can tell better what the living chemicals or the biological chemicals are there. So this everybody will have different semantic blocks based on what they are studying. Like atoms and molecules cannot explain what is something made up of. For example, I have a chair. Why that chair is there, or what is this chair made up of? You cannot explain it in terms of atoms or molecules. I ask you a question. I have a chair. Okay, maybe I will give another example. Let's say painting. So you make one painting. It is made up of same atoms and molecules, like same colors are made up of atoms and molecules, and make another painting, same other atoms and molecules, but one painting is it gets first prize in the competition, another painting is rejected from the competition. So why is there a difference? Although both are same ingredients as per the physicists. Means if you say the chemicals and molecules are same, the pixels are same, the colors are same, but why then one painting gets so much awards and the other painting does not get any award? So what are we missing? What is missing in the other painting which is there in the first painting? What is missing in the other painting which is there in the first painting? Creativity is different. You can call it creativity, that is nice. In beauty, yes. Beauty, creativity, yes. So in simple words, we can say the structure, right? How these pixels are arranged. In one painting, the pixels are arranged in a way which makes it appear very beautiful. In the other painting, the pixels are arranged in a way which makes it appear not so beautiful that it gets rejected. So now the question can be asked, can your chemicals and molecules explain the structure? The answer is no. They cannot explain the structure. Can a physicist explain the structure? No. You can never explain the structure. You can never explain why this painting is beautiful, why this painting is not beautiful. Because physically they are same. From a point of view of physicists, the basic ingredients are same. But the basic ingredients for a painter are very different. For him, he knows what kind of strokes are beautiful strokes and how they should be placed. What kind of strokes will not be so beautiful strokes. So for a painter, the space is entirely different. Semantic space is entirely different. The ingredients are very different. The strokes have different meanings for him. Right? So that is the difference. That if you say everything is made up of just chemicals and molecules, this is foolish, very, very foolish. So at every level, a different semantics manifest, and depending on what you are studying, you have to know that level of semantics. For example, if you are doing painting, you have to know the semantics at the level of painting. If you are wearing clothes, you have to know the semantics at the level of wearing clothes. Otherwise, you cannot know how to dress properly. So the structure of the object depends on the type of molecular bonding. This is the view of chemists. Can we extend such ideas while contemplating our own self? Then means, what am I made up of? Same chemicals and molecules. But am I just chemicals and molecules? No. There is so much of information, so much of structure at the level of understanding or analyzing the body that chemicals and molecules or just the atoms and protons, neutrons cannot explain that. Okay. On a lighter note, now sir is giving telling in a lighter way, in a humorous way, and if we contemplate that way, it may turn out that we are just a bag of chemicals, just worth a few hundred rupees. Certainly, this is not what you are. So if I think I am just chemicals and molecules, then okay, what is there? This chemical, if you analyze all the chemicals, you can get those chemicals in the market in same amount in a few hundred rupees or a few thousand rupees. That's it. Similarly, if you look at the paintings, what are the chemicals and molecules in the paintings? Same colors which are available in the market for so cheap rates, same paper which is available in the market for so cheap rate. Then why do these paintings cost a fortune? If you see the paintings of very great painters like Picasso or Leonardo da Vinci, or so there are very, very famous painters. If you see their paintings, you cannot buy them, they are so costly. Only the museums can afford them. We cannot. So, but what is the ingredient for these paintings? Just same paper, same color, that is it. Then why do they cost so much? Similarly, our body. So, the point which I am trying to make is the semantics are different depending on what you are studying. If you are studying this body for, let's say, this finger, if I take out the skin, I burn it, I will get carbon dioxide and some carbon oxides and water. That's it. So yes, if you are burning it, then certainly it is just some carbon or hydrogen and oxygen. But this finger as a finger is semantically a very different thing. And I don't think if I give you some lump of carbon, some lump of water, and I ask you, can you cut off your finger and give it to me? I will, in return, I will give you this carbon, hydrogen, oxygen of same weight. So this exchange, will you be able to do that? No. No, nobody can do that. Everybody will think, what a foolish idea this is, right? So the point is that the level of semantics are different based on what you are studying. I'll give an example, a funny example again. Let's say in many places when you you have some weight, right? So I can use you, let's say, on a scale to weigh some things. For example, I make you sit on one end of the scale. On the other end, I will put some rice, and many people do that. They donate rice equal to the weight of somebody. Let's say if your birthday is there, your parents will say, today we will donate ghee in the temple, and that ghee is equal to the weight of our son or our daughter. You are there. So I have seen this system in one place called Guruvayur. It's in Kerala, and they do it. This is a very nice system. In the temple, if you want to donate, then many people, they weigh, let's say, their children or themselves, and equivalent amount of rice or whatever they want to donate, they will donate that same weight. So see, semantically now, you are just a weight, just a block of weight. That is it, semantically, for this kind of relationship. So now you are not even chemicals, molecules, not even an individual soul, just a weight, mg. That's it. So now when somebody asks you a question, who you are, you have to ask that in what semantic sense are you asking. So for example, if I come to you and let's say I ask you who you are, so what will you reply? What will you reply? Quickly, just quickly type and send. We have to finish because we are getting late. We have to send. I think this exercise will be good. You will like it. Okay. What you are, quickly reply, quickly type. Whatever comes to your mind, like what is it called? Rapid fire round. Just type and send. What you are. Just write anything. I won't give marks based on that. So I'm not here to give marks. This is just to. I'm a spirit soul. Okay. Body. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Human. Okay. The question is who you are. Okay. Okay. I think others are too shy to give answer. I will ask who you are. Before that, I add some context. Now, no, sorry. Yeah, who you are. Okay. I am. When I go to UK, in UK, when you go for immigration, there are two queues. One for EU citizens, which means who are citizens of European Union countries, and the other is for non-EU citizens. And there is a policeman standing at the where the paths bifurcate, right? So you have to choose the right row, the right what is it called, queue. If you are EU citizen, you go this way. If you are non-EU citizen like us, like Indians, we go to the other queue. So that immigration will be done separately because EU people have different immigration rules. So now this policeman who is standing right there, he asks you who you are. Now what will you reply? What will you reply? Okay. Now, nobody will say I am a spirit soul. Nobody will say I am body. Nobody will say I don't know. If you say I don't know, I don't think what they will do with you. Nobody will say I am a human. I am Indian. Okay. Yes, you can say I am an Indian, and which he will interpret as non-EU. So he will send you in the non-EU queue. Is this point clear? Does it hit you? Means does this point make more sense than before? Okay. I will ask. Okay. Can you create some more context like this? Can you create some more context when somebody asks you who you are and your answer will be something interesting? I can give one example. Let's say you go to Dua office. In Dua office, there are two sections, UG section, PG section. And in PG section, again, there are further sections, whether you're doing PhD or Masters. And so you go to Dua office, and you and the person who is sitting there, he asks you who you are, what will you reply? What will you reply? Yeah, UG student, or if you'll say I'm doing masters, or I'm doing PhD, or I'm a UG student, right? So nobody will say I'm a soul. I don't think anybody can dare to say I'm Indian or I am EU or non-EU, right? But it's the same person. You are the same person. Then why are you giving different answers in different places? Okay, I think about it. Read this lesson a little bit in more detail and think about it, and then tomorrow we will continue our discussion. And bring your questions, post them on Piazza or bring them up here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.